summer event sale all weekend long. And listen, what a way to end my 3 hours with you tonight. We're going to talk about Origami, and we're going to talk about truly one of our #1 top sellers in organization. And this one is the professional heavy duty. This is the one that's going to hold the most. And we have truly one of the best values we've ever done. It's $129. Free shipping and handling. We don't always have that. So we're gonna ship this to your house for free. It's gonna take probably less than 5 minutes for you to put together. In fact, it definitely is, unless you're putting the wheels on, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. Lou Caputo is our brand ambassador for Origami. So good to see you, my friend.
Good to be seen.
Yes, and listen, wow, I just said to Lou, okay, this is the heavy duty.
Yeah.
We have the original heavy duty. It's even more expensive online right now.
Yes.
So this is like the pro heavy duty.
This is the pro. So this one looks exactly the same as the heavy duty rack that we sell day in and day out.
I thought it was originally when I saw it.
Everybody does, but here's the difference. This one will hold an extra 200 pounds. Okay, so you can do 50 pounds more per shelf than the regular one. Now, you would think that because this one will hold more weight, that it should be more expensive. I would think so too, right? Here's the thing. It's actually less expensive right now, today.
Because it's a hot deal.
Than the regular one, yes. Plus the free shipping, which is insane.
Yes.
Because this thing weighs 41.3 pounds, so it's not exactly light. And it's made out of powder-coated steel. So what are we talking about? This is the Origami Heavy Duty Pro Rack. It's our 4-tier version of it. And we've got some colors. Let's run through those
do that,
real quick. Just because, you know, I got so much to talk about. So where do you want to start? Down here?
Let's start with the, start all the way to you.
Oh, well, actually, we got 2 of these out here, so we'll just kind of work from this one.
Right here.
So this is the pewter. This is the original color of all Origami-dom. Okay, this is the very first one that we ever sold.
That's my original.
Do you know that this month is 15 years? Or it's
a 15th
15th anniversary of Origami.
No kidding.
Yes, 15
Our
years.
#1 line of organization.
Isn't that crazy?
And you'll understand why.
Yeah, so that's the pewter. What next to this is what we call vintage bronze. It's a very nice warm brown color on that one. The one behind Lynn here is the black. Now here's what's interesting. The black in this one is a matte finish. Oh, it's the most limited.
Yeah, they just updated us. Yeah, that could sell out in this presentation.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful color. Then we got the beautiful crisp clean white. Nice glossy finish on that guy there. Next to that one, platinum. Platinum is the best. If you've got stainless steel appliances in your kitchen, it's going to look great there. And then the last one is actually brand new.
Yeah. I love this.
Eggnog. This is the eggnog color.
The first time I've seen it.
Yeah, isn't it neat? And it's a neutral, and people are just going crazy for that. Because sometimes
great for decorating.
You want off-white. This is pretty close to an off-white. It's a beige. I mean, so that's really cool.
And notice I said decorating, right? You're thinking, well, wait a minute. This is all about storage. Oh, it is.
Store decor.
But, yeah, store decor.
Store decor.
That's perfect.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so this is what it looks like when it's set up. This is actually 12 linear feet of storage as it sits here in front of me, because each one of these shelves is 3 feet across this way, and they're 18 inches deep. So we're talking about 1.5 feet on the depth there, which is significant because most of your shelving systems stop right about there. So we give you that extra distance on this guy, okay? Each one of the shelves, well, we'll get to that in a second. I want to show you how this folds up, though, because it is named after the ancient Japanese art of paper folding. So it should fold, right? So here we go. I'm just going to take that top shelf over, just give it a little kick like this. Now, 12 linear feet just became 4 inches, just like that. Isn't that cool?
It's so cool.
I love that every time I do that, too.
It's like you look at this, like, oh, I'm going to have to put nuts and bolts. I'm going to install every one of these shelves. I got to get a handyman. That's how hard it is to put together. Seriously.
You remember our friend Deb Barker that used to sell the flip fold?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Of course. She once said to me, she said, Louie, I love these because I don't need a husband and I don't need a handyman. So take that for what it's worth. All right, so now that I've got this folded like this is how it's going to arrive to your house. Remember what we said just a few moments ago? This weighs 41.3 pounds, okay? You're getting it shipped for free. The math there is crazy because normally it costs about $25 our price to ship these.
That's exactly right.
So,
absolutely.
Just about that. So you're getting that for free, okay? Here's how you're gonna set it up though. Get it out of the cardboard box. That's tough. After
That's
that,
the hardest
easy.
part.
That's the hardest part. Get it out of that box. Once it's out of the box, you just grab the sides and it's gonna fall open like that. Now I'm gonna rotate this around so you can see the back of this to the world famous origami toggle right here. Now, this is actually a patented design. All right, so I'm gonna put that through there, I'm gonna push down. You're gonna see where the whole shelf sits. Now, all of this structure that you're seeing around here, that is already given this rigidity. This is already structurally sound. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip over the top shelf, which is only hinged on one side, you know, so it can fold. We're gonna put that down here like this, and then there's one latch right here, and all I've gotta do is just let that latch drop into place like that, and that's it.
Voila.
We're done. Voila. Now, here are the things you need to know about the weight capacity, okay? Because you notice there's 4 wheels on this, all right? We give you the 4 wheels. 2 of them are locking wheels, all right? You can see the one over by Linny there in the front is a locking wheel. You don't have to use the wheels if you don't want to. Some people love the wheels, some people don't like to use the wheels. If you put the wheels on it, it raises it about 3 inches off the ground. So it goes from about 62 to 65 inches, okay? We don't want it to get tippy when you're putting stuff on here because it is 3 inches higher. So what we say is, listen, limit yourself with the wheels to 75 pounds per shelf. So that's a total of 300 pounds with the wheels on it. But that's 300 pounds that you can roll around any place you want to go. Now, if you don't use the wheels on it, here's where it gets interesting. Because remember what I said at the beginning. This is the pro version, so you can actually put 50 pounds more per shelf, okay? So instead of the normal 250 pounds that you can put on this per shelf, you can do 300 pounds per shelf. Oh. So that's 300 times 4. That's 1,200 pounds that you can put on this. That's more than half a ton of weight capacity on this rack. By the way, why can you do that? Powder-coated steel. So these are going to resist chipping, scratching, and you can use them outdoors because they're going to resist corrosion.
How about that? I mean, really think about everything. So you might be thinking, okay, where am I going to put this? So this is where it originally all started. And once you start, and we'll hear it over and over again, you get one origami, and you can't stop.
No.
You can't stop.
It's
It
like
makes your
potato
life.
chips.
Oh, exactly. For organization, and especially, you know, for the heavier things. You know, we don't think about like potting soil, right? Or machinery, like even like heavy drills and things of that nature. Where are they stored right now, right? This is a great example.
Yeah, I mean, so if you think about it, like, you know, now most people, the first thing that's going to occur to them is I'm putting this in my garage. And that's the perfect place for these because this takes advantage of all the vertical storage in your house, including the garage, and it gets things up off the floor. So maybe one day, who knows, you might be able to park your car in your garage. That'd be wonderful. Now, I want you to notice something that we got this one set up as a potting station of sorts, okay? So you've got all your gardening supplies on here. The reason this works so well for that is because of the powder-coated steel. So, it, you know, you can leave it indoors, outdoors, whatever you want to do. But also, if you're watering plants on here, these have wire shelves. So that water is just going to go right through the shelves here. You can see that. There goes my hands going through there, but that water goes there. You also get airflow that way too. So if you're drying things on this, maybe you've got this out in your garage, maybe, oops, hey, how are you? Maybe you got this out in your garage, maybe, you know, you're using this by the pool and you're drying bathing suits or towels or whatever. All of that works with this.
And that is why it is absolutely beloved. I'm going to just remind you, you can go to hsn.com. We have many pages of different styles of origami. This is like the original heavy duty. That has been a customer pick. I want to say since the day we launched it. This is the pro. So even now, it's pretty amazing. We said up to basically 300 pounds without the wheels, so like 1,200 pounds. This is the Mac Daddy. Yeah. Right? The true Mac Daddy. And as a hot deal, Lou, it's priced better than
the normal
original one.
The original one that we still sell all the time.
Well, of course.
But, yeah, this pro version, boy, I'll tell you, when we get this out here, these go fast. And the colors on these are just crazy.
Loving this new eggnog.
You know, I saw you reaching for that one.
I love this.
Yeah.
Again, the white, obviously the eggnog, but depending on where you have it. If you have an area or a room or enough room, this becomes a pantry now. I mean, Lou, it's endless, the different possibilities of how you can use this.
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to try to make this as easy for everybody as possible.
Okay.
There's a closet back there, okay? A pantry that's back there. I'm going to clear the way.
Okay.
So that we can get a good shot of this, all right? So there's the pantry. Now watch this. If you have a walk-in pantry or walk-in closet, okay, sometimes you want to add shelving to it, but you can't because you've already got shelving and there's the only space in there is where you stand. So watch. I'm going to walk in here, push this out of the way. So notice, this is what I'm talking about. Here's the space in this closet where I can walk in here, and then when I'm done, I close that door. There's still an empty space there, though. Now, we could put shelves in there if you've got an origami. So I'm going to take my origami, and this works for walk-in pantries, walk-in closets, anything like that. I can put this in here. Now, I just added 12 feet of storage into this closet. I'm gonna close, our pantry. I'm gonna close the door, boom, done.
No
okay?
way.
Isn't that cool? Now, when I need to get in here and get something, it's easy to do because if this is in my way, all I'm gonna do, remember it's on wheels up to 300-pound weight capacity, I move that out of the way, and now I got access again to everything in here. And that works in a pantry, it works in a storage unit, it works in a walk-in closet, anywhere you wanna do that.
Storage, I mean, I would honestly, I'm thinking about, I have a little bit of a walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Taking out the stupid shelves that are in there that serve no purpose whatsoever.
Yep.
Take them out, put a couple of these in.
Yeah.
And think about it, like you were saying, this is now vertical. How much you could store, and you get to see
Tons.
everything, which is wonderful.
Well, and that's the big thing too. And I'll tell you, I always tell the story about my storage unit and about how back in the day when Kelly and I had a storage unit, we got to a crossroads where we were like, it's full. We're gonna have to buy another one, okay?
We're gonna get a bigger one, pay more.
A bigger one and pay more, or you know,
get
something.
more junk.
Yeah, exactly. Or get rid of stuff, which is not in my wheelhouse. That's not my thing. So I thought about it, I'm like going, you know, we do have a lot of origami racks. I don't know why I never kind of came up with that conclusion. And this was a while ago. This is like 10, 12 years ago. I mean, it was a while ago. And I finally started putting them in there, and I started with one, then I had two in there, then I had three. Finally, when I was done, and it was only about the size of the pantry, I had 6 of them side by side, 2 rows. And when you looked in there, it was a wall of stuff in origami. That's all you saw, which people would walk by and look at me like I'd lost my mind. They're like, oh, this guy can't even get to anything. But they didn't know, like I could wheel all my shelves out in the hallway and get to anything.
Right.
And
so smart.
while they were standing around waiting for that, you know, cart to push things down to their car, I just wheeled my whole rack down with everything, like my Christmas decorations, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Everything would come down with me.
And we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that story, because a lot of people thought the same thing. Hey, I have storage units. And yes, originally, most people first time are just ordering their origami, it is for the garage, right? It's a game changer.
Yeah.
To Lou's point, everything you think about on the floor right now, all the boxes, all the Christmas decorations, all the, you know, potting and gardening and all the tools and everything, guess what? Now it has a home.
Yeah. I mean,
and it doesn't matter. You don't have to treat this fragilely if it's, you know, one of your power tools or something. Who cares?
Yeah.
You can't mess it up.
No, and I've stored firewood on mine. I've stored pavers on mine, bags of rock salt. I mean, I don't baby them. I abuse them. And I'll tell you something interesting. I have some pieces still that are 15 years old, and I cannot tell the difference between those and brand new ones, because that powder coating is so darn good on these that it's never, I mean, it's always going to have the same color. It's always going to look the same.
Well, I have the original, like I said, and mine, you know what, mine, it's all, and I don't know if you have this at home, but I have all my old paints.
Oh, yeah.
Because like years ago, every breakup I went through, I would repaint my wall different color.
Right.
And there was a lot of paint. But honestly, like I saw down here painting supplies, mine's all the different paint colors. And I have different color trim and walls.
Sure,
and so it's just nice to have, or, you know, the white paints are different on, but it takes up a lot of space. It was all on the floor.
Yeah.
Now it's all right there and you can see it.
Well, you know, it's funny because we're getting ready to sell our house again, put it back on the market.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because we were going to sell it before Hurricane Helene went, and just, you know, so, yeah. So, anyway, it's going back. But here's the thing. I had boxes of tiles. Like, we have these long plank tiles, right? And they're porcelain. They look like wood, but they're porcelain tiles, and they weigh a ton. Each box is really heavy. And I forgot where I put them. And then one day I'm out there, I'm looking around, and the bottom shelf on one of my origami racks has 4 boxes of these tiles sitting on there, and they weigh a ton. And the only reason I found them is I started moving the rack, and I was like, wow, this thing feels kind of heavy. And I looked down, I go, oh,
there they are.
Yeah, there they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing you'll see. It'll instantly organize.
Yes.
It'll instantly give you more space. And this is the heavy duty. I just want to go back because we're looking at a special hot deal. What does that mean? This is, listen, it's a customer pick at $169.
Yes.
Right?
All
and
day
we're
long.
just showing you some of the different ideas of what you can use this for, because remember, without the wheels, Lou, it's 300 per shelf?
Yeah, without the wheels, 300 pounds per shelf, 4 shelves, that's 1,200 pounds of weight capacity, over half a ton. Now, while we're looking at the bottom of this, I always do this. I flip the shelf over because I want people to look at the bottom. Because if you ever want to see how your furniture is really made, look at the bottom, the underside of whatever piece of furniture is, because that's the part where they just sort of like slap things together and they don't really care, okay? With origami, though, because this is powder-coated steel, this is perfection. When you look at the bottom of this thing, there's no streaks, there's no drips, there's no runs. Why? Because of the powder coating process. They put an electrical charge through the metal. It's not like paint where they just slap it on and it dries. They put an electrical charge through the metal, they spray it, and here's the cool thing. The powder coating, I could shoot it from this side where my hand is. It would shoot through here and then come back and wrap itself around there, because in a way it almost magnetizes the metal. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, but that's what it does. But that's also why it fills all the voids, all the welds, and any spaces are filled with powder coating material. Now here's the other thing. When you look at the bottom of this, you're gonna notice something that's different with this one than the average rack that we sell, the regular day in and day out heavy duty rack. And it's this right here. There's 3 of these supports on this one. The regular one has 1 support going down the middle, which is really good. I mean, it'll hold 250 pounds per shelf, but we wanted to make sure that you'd have that 300-pound weight capacity, so we added 2 more on there, which adds, that's why the normal one is like 37.5 pounds, and this one's 41.3, so it's just about a 6-pound difference between the 2 of them. And these are all welded. Everything on here is welded on the bottom there, and that's the strength of this. Like if you have one of our regular ones, and then you get this one, you start like moving the shelf, you're gonna go, oh, that is heavier.
I feel a little bit of weight on that.
It's beefier.
Yeah. And Lou, those just tuning in, let's talk about, I'm gonna do colors one more time, and then we're gonna talk about the ease of putting this together. Because that's, again, the genius, the durability, the power coated steel. You never have to worry about it rusting or chipping or anything like that.
Let's start at the top. Okay.
Let's start from the top.
So here is the color pewter, the original color of all things origami. This one is a 15-year-old color, and people still love this. Most of mine are that color.
Mine too.
Because I started with that, and I'm just that way.
Yeah.
Next to that, vintage bronze. This is a beautiful color. Looks great if you've got leather furniture or wood in your house. That's going to look absolutely spectacular. Next to that is the black. Yeah, or the office. Yeah, I love it for that. The black here, matte finish on that one. Limited?
Most limited. Most limited. And you just look for that tag, because you see that seal there. It's the original. There's a lot of knockoffs out there, but
there really are. I've been seeing a lot of them on social media.
Yeah.
White, beautiful, crisp, clean white, very popular for kitchens, babies' rooms, laundry rooms, bathrooms.
You bet.
People love that. And then we've got the platinum right here. Looks great with stainless steel appliances. A lot of people use these in their kitchens for that very reason. And then the last one, Lynn's favorite. The new favorite, the eggnog color.
I'm loving this. Like you said, it's a great neutral,
Super neutral color.
If you have
people
ivory.
absolutely love it. Now, for those of you that are just joining us and you're like, well, what in the world is a big deal? It's just a steel rack. Here's the big deal, guys. I'll show you how you set this up and how you break it down, but here's how you're gonna collapse it so that you can store it away, because origami is a storage solution, not a storage problem. If I have this sitting there and it's empty, I don't have to leave it there like most shelves and just take up space. I'm gonna flip that over.
And you take it with you. You're gonna be moving,
take it with you.
right? This is not shelves that you're stuck with.
Boom, just like that. It's funny too, because if you have to move someplace and this is just the easiest furniture in the world, especially if you got kids that are in college and they're in a dorm and they come back every semester or the end of every year. This is what you want to be moving. You don't want to be having particle board furniture that you got to, store it somewhere or leave it by the curb when they graduate.
Right, or because it's destroyed because it doesn't last.
No.
And it's a fortune. That's what we always talk about. How can it be?
So here's what's crazy to me today is that for the price that you're gonna pay right now for this, you could probably maybe buy a piece of particle board furniture, like a particle board shelf, because they're really expensive considering what they are. I mean, it's just essentially sawdust that's held together by glue. So, not the best thing in the world.